Hello and welcome to the second part of the first ever episode of Go Low Like a Pro. Wait, does that make this the second episode? Well, it's definitely the second video. You know what I just noticed between my parts? I haven't even mentioned my handicap yet. We've done an entire video and I haven't mentioned my handicap. Well, I was looking at some stats and apparently the average male handicap for a golfer in the States is 14.4. It's a little bit higher in England and Australia, and I don't have stats for every country. But that's what I was playing off last year. I am literally average. Not in any way, shape or form a pro. In fact, I'm actually an actor. In fact, I'd go further than that and say that with the way things are and the crazy times we're living in, I am an unemployed actor. But it did give me a lot of time to play golf last year, and that's what made me ask myself, how low could I go? So with the world the way it is, it seemed like now is the perfect time for me to voluntarily give up all my non-existent work and really try and answer that question. I mean, that's the dream, right? There aren't many jobs that let us play golf as much as we'd like. And to be fair, actor is probably quite high on the list, second only maybe to golf pro and President of the United States. But I'm never going to be either of them. So here I am, sharing it all with you lot on YouTube as I attempt to slash that handicap by going low like a pro. So with all that practice and hours of golf last year, I got cut down to 13. And then at the end of the year we welcomed in the new world handicap system. Feel free to put your views on that in the comments. And while you're at it, if anyone would like to explain it, that'd be great too. I'm only kidding. I have had a look at it and I now have a handicap index of 12.0, which from what I can work out seems to mean that I will, most of the time anyway, be playing off 13. I think what I might do though is get a little help me icon graphic thing that I can just flash up on the screen, and that way you guys can hear the call to arms that I need help, jump in the comments, save me, and I don't have to get flustered and worried about what on earth I'm talking about. So I have a handicap index of 12.0, so that's where the challenge is going to start. I'm going to put that up there, and that way we can all keep track of it together. So as promised, I'm at the range at Kingsfield. It's absolutely freezing. I'm just going to start with a bit of a warm up. And a few ball sweep. Now, every time I come to the range, I tend to start with my loft wedge and just work my way up through the bag until I get to my driver. Just warm up, that's how I like to build up my swing. It also means that I know I can hit good shots with every club, especially if I'm just about to go onto the course. And at this point I was going to go through my bag and show you what clubs and equipment I'm using, but it's so cold, I think I'll do that in a separate video. Although I can't really see the ball in the videos, one massive benefit of all of this is that when I'm editing all this together, I'll get to see my swing over and over again, and see some of the faults and inconsistencies. Now, one thing that I don't even need to see to know is that I'm probably overswinging, and I'm probably too fast. So that's what I'm going to start working on myself until I can schedule in a lesson with a pro. Slow swings, not overswinging, controlling the club head, and hopefully better contact. Watch this one and see if you can hear what I say at the end.
I might make comment where this goes, yeah. Yeah, he's probably a club short.
Felt like I only had about a half swing then, but it was a good swing. Feels like a half swing. Let me show you the top of my backswing. Yeah, that's not a half swing. The other thing I'm going to look at is my grip plank. Can you film this for me actually? Because this is... so we've now got Stuart on camera, thank you very much. I've changed my grip recently, and another thing I'm trying to work on here. Basically this came from the Phil Kenyon putting drills I did a couple of months back, where he was talking about gripping the putter along your lifelines. And the way they were talking about it was suggesting that it was different from how you would grip a normal club. That's how I've always gripped every club, so I was a little bit unsure about that, went away, and so I've changed my grip, started working on it. Now let me try and explain what I mean by that. So if you come down to my hands plank. Now, anytime I've ever had a lesson or anything, when someone's been filming, what they'll do is they'll look at that and they'll say, oh, you've got quite a weak right hand, and they'll try and get me to do this and all that sort of thing. And what I'm talking about in more detail is when I grip a club, these are your lifelines by the way, if you sort of think along the edge of your glove. I tend to grip it there and then wrap my fingers round, and that's how I grip the club. And then when I hit one, whatever, and then what I've been told, and apparently there's even gloves that you get, that you're supposed to grip it kind of more through the fingers and then wrap the hands over. So I've gone from doing that and wrapping the fingers to doing that and wrapping the hands. Now, I don't know how much of a difference that makes to anyone. I don't know if you thought about that. Actually, tell you what, give me the camera. So this is my mate Stuart, first person you're getting to meet. Hello.
Hello. Good to see you all.
Have you ever thought of what I just said?
No.
Concerning your grip? No. Do you know which one you do?
I think I do what you want me to do. I tend to do that. So I interlock first and then...
Well, I've always interlocked first, but I just like where the club sits in my hands. So do you kind of feel like you're gripping it between your fingers, or do you feel like you're gripping it between your palms?
Fingers.
Fingers, okay.
I just stand up and hit it.
So, I've just been told by the lady at the driving range that the entire country is going into national lockdown from midnight tonight. So no golf at all for a month. Good time to start a golf channel. What's up? So, as if today wasn't bad enough, we've just been told that golf's going to be cancelled for a month. The national lockdown's happening. This also happened. It's my driver. It snapped when I came out of the car. Didn't even hit a shot. So that's my swing, that's what I'm going to be working on. Any thoughts, advice, comments, etc., please just chuck them in the comments below. I think this is a much better way to show you what's in my bag. It's definitely warmer, and as I said, my clubs need a clean. So my putter is a Titleist Scott Cameron Select Newport 2.6, but it doesn't need a clean. My lob wedge I'm using at the moment is another Titleist Vokey SM4 60-degree wedge. I have a love-hate relationship with this club. It has a different shaft and feel to the irons I've been playing with the last couple of years. Don't get me wrong, I've hit so many gorgeous shots with this club, but at the same time, For every 3 or 4 good ones, there's at least one that gets stemmed through the back or one that ends up 20 yards short. They are great clubs, of course. It's absolutely me, my ability and confidence with them, and absolutely nothing at all to do with the clubs. But I have ordered new wedges. Part of the reason for that is that I wanted to have wedges that match my irons, hopefully to try and remove that silly little gremlin that was in my head as well. So a couple of months ago I ordered new wedges and new irons. The wedges are not to arrive yet, but the irons came just before Christmas. My 7-iron to attack wedge are TaylorMade P770 irons. They have a Project X loading zone 6.0 120 gram shafts, and the grips are Golf Pride with an extra layer of tape. And I just love them. Aren't these totally gorgeous? I just need to learn to hit them now. My 5 and 6 iron are TaylorMade P790s. They are the same shafts and grips, but the lofts are 1 degree weaker so that they blend with the P770s. Why do I have 2 different types of irons in my bag? The short version is that I went for a fitting at the TaylorMade Performance Centre at Kingsfield, and that's what the pro told me to get. The slightly longer version, as he might explain, is that this should give me a bit more forgiveness with the 5 and the 6, and a bit more control attacking the green with the P770s. My next club's a bit controversial. A few of my friends have looked at me like I'm a bit daft for having this one, but I'm sticking by it. Have I got you intrigued? Any guesses? It's another 7-iron, but this one's left-handed. It may be testament to my lack of ability, or maybe it's just bad luck, but I always seem to have shots where I have to back my butt up into a thick gorse bush, and I've always wished that I had a left-handed club. So I got one. Sports Direct for 12 quid. Hopefully a bargain. I don't even know what club this is. It's a Slazenger V300. Now I will say this, I picked this up the same day that I picked up my other irons, and in the 3 rounds that I've played since, I've had to use this club twice. It saved me at least 1 shot and a sore bum. And lastly, my woods, at least 10 years old and still absolutely amazing. TaylorMade Burners 7 and 3. I also had a driver fitting last year, this time at American Golf, and the chap said to not even bother. He told me that I was getting almost no benefit from all the new ones I tried. Of course, that was before I snapped my driver in half. I can't tell you how gutted I am. When I was thinking about what to include for the show, and I thought about talking you through what's in my bag, my mental notes in terms of what I was actually going to say, certainly about these, was that I have absolutely no intentions of getting a new one. How much I love this club, how it's been with me for the last 10 years and we've shared a bond, and yeah, it's part of my life. So that's what's in my bag. Now, before I start talking about the physical training that I've started, why don't you have a laugh at me trying to swing left-handed? So the physical training I've started probably isn't as bright and inspired as you might have thought it was going to be. I've started yoga training. Well, that's not true because I've dabbled in yoga for a long time now, but I've started a regime where I'm going to be doing it or something similar every day. As you can see, I'm supporting my body weight with the pillows and not doing much active moving at all. It's the start of the year and the challenge. No one wants to go jumping in the deep end and trying to bench their body weight. We've just had Christmas. Do you know what my body weight is? A nice easy start to let the body know it's going to be working is an ideal introduction for me. I'm not as young as I was, and flexibility and general ease of movement are far more appealing than big muscles these days, both in everyday life and swinging on the golf course. Sorry, what? That just sounded wrong. I've also had back surgery and I can't advocate enough for the benefits that I feel from doing yoga and other stretching regimes. Now, what I'm doing in this video is called Yin Yoga. I don't really know much about it, but it seems to be all about relaxing into poses and allowing your body just to unwind and release, so it's very gentle. I think it's a great idea for anyone that, again, is maybe a bit stiff and thinks that yoga or training isn't for them. So I'm doing the same practice every day this week. It's by a lovely lady called Adrian. I found her on YouTube. Her channel is called Yoga with Adrian. Feel free to check it out. The specific practice I'm doing is called Intro to Yin, if you want to give this one a try. I can't recommend yoga enough for golf. Feeling loose and having an easy swing is the dream, and I find that yoga helps massively with that, as well as allowing for a bigger shoulder turn, bigger hip turns, creating more power and distance. Next time I'll do a slightly more active yoga and start building up to what perhaps many of you would consider actual physical training. Again, I'm starting with what I know, and I will follow a pro's guidance moving forwards. And of course, I will always be open to your suggestions as well. So as we come to the end of episode 1, let's just have a quick look at my diary and see what golf practice I've actually done this week. So on Friday, I hit the first shot of the challenge and got things underway, as well as starting on my putting drills and yoga. Saturday and Sunday, I only managed the drills and the yoga. Monday and Tuesday, I did all that again, and also managed to get in a trip to the range each day. And now that all adds up to roughly 7 or 8 hours. I wasn't really counting, and although it's under my already modest target, I have been extremely busy already learning how to get this up and running, so hopefully there will be more actual golf next week. There will definitely be more putting drills. I'll tell you a few more of those that I learned at the Phil Kenyon Facebook event. I'll be doing more yoga and upping the stakes a bit with that. Hopefully a lot more time at the range, and weather permitting, maybe even a round or two. Who knows? I may even hear back from a pro and be able to plan a genuine pro training regime. And as I said, of course, I'm open to all your suggestions too. I said at the start of this episode that I am extremely excited and yet daunted by all of this, and that hasn't changed. But I have now at least got out an episode, so I am extremely delighted with how week 1 has gone. Thank you very much for watching. I realise that there is a lot of work still to do. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you can see the potential. It is all about improvement after all, and I've already learned so much. To end the episode, I'm going to tell you about the big competition for the show. It's going to run all year, and there will be a prize at the end. I don't know what that prize will be, but hopefully it will be awesome and worthy of a prize for a competition that lasts all year. But at the moment, I'm just calling it the mystery prize. I have to sort out some logistics, but in order to win, what you'll have to do is correctly predict what my handicap index will be at the end of the challenge. So get thinking, and I'll let you know when it goes live. Lastly, I've also been told to set up a coffee page where, should you wish to, you can help support the channel and its unemployed host by essentially buying him a coffee. I'll throw the link up for that at the end too. Thank you so much again. Now, to play us out of part 2, here's a clip from 2019 of my friend, the wonderful actor, gorgeous person and very handy golfer, Jamie Bamber. Jamie's going to show us that you don't need a left-handy club to play these tricky little shots. I hope to see you next week. Be good, and if you can't, shout for.